This is lesson 6.5 in pre-algebra, percent increase or decrease and discount. The rule of thumb with dealing with percentage of an increase or percentage of a decrease is that the number that we're dealing with, the main number, like if you look at example 1, if a person earns $22,000 a year, if the word increase is in the story problem, then the answer you're going to get, generally speaking, is going to be larger than the number that they give you in the problem, like the 22,000 in example 1. If it says decrease, you're going to have a total number that's less than that 22,000. And one of the things as you're doing these story problems is you're not just doing math, you're using logic in order to figure out what in the world you're supposed to do and what kind of an answer you're supposed to get. If you're not looking at these with a keen eye and really thinking through what you're supposed to be getting for an answer, more times than not, you're going to end up getting the wrong answer. So this particular one, example 1, if a person earns $22,000 and he gets a 5% increase, and we'll just use an up arrow, in his pay, what is his new salary? Alright, so logically, if you look at that, you've got $22,000, you've got a 5% increase in salary, so therefore, you're going to be making more than $22,000 now. You're going to be making your $22,000 that you were getting before, plus an additional 5%. So some students will just go ahead and take 5% of $22,000 and get $1,100 and say, oh, that's the answer that I'm looking for. Well, they're not looking at it logically. That is less than the $22,000. That is not a raise. So look at this logically as you're doing this and find out if the answer that you got is a possible answer that's going to make sense. So again, we're making 5% more than the 22,000, so our answer is going to be larger than the 22,000. So what I have to do is I've got to do two different things. I've got to find out what 5% of 22,000 is. So what is 5% of 22,000? The reason I have to find that out is I need to know what number, what amount I got as a raise, and I'm going to add it to the 22,000. So when I do that, I get my x is 0.05 of 22,000. 5% of 22,000 is 1,100. So that is the 5%. So I'm going to take that amount and I'm going to add it to my 22,000 in order to find out how much money I'm making now once I got my raise. So again, think logically through these if you're going to be able to get the right answer, or so that you can get the right answer. Alright, let's look at example number 2. Example number 2 has to do with the number of DUIs in the United States. And in 1997, there were 1,477,432 arrests for driving under the influence. In 2010, it had decreased 4.4%. Okay, so therefore, the number that I'm going to get as an answer because of this decrease symbol is going to be less than the number that I started with. It went down 4.4%. Well, how far down? So what they're asking for is how many people were arrested in 2010. And so what they're asking you to do is take 4.4% off of this here in order to get the total number arrested. So in order to do that, I have to take 4.4% of 1,477,432. So change this to a decimal. So I move the decimal place over 2 to the left, and I'm going to multiply it because of the of 1,477,432. And when I multiply all that out, I get 65,007. So that's how many fewer arrests were made in 2010 compared to 2007. So to find out how many arrests were made in 2010, I take 1,477,432 and I subtract 65,007 and I get 1,412,425. So that number is smaller than the number up here I started with because, again, it said a decrease. In example 3, one of the things that you learn when you're doing story problems is sometimes there's parts of the story problem that aren't even necessary in order to do the equation. And this is the case in this one. They give us a bar chart from 2007 to 2012 on how many iPhones were sold, but they're only interested in the percent increase in sales from 2011 to 2012. That's all they're interested in, so we don't even have to worry about the other years. So we have 2011, this number was 72, and 2012, this number was 125, and those are in millions, but let's just leave them as number 72 and 125. All right, so we're trying to find out, and it says in the problem, the percent increase from 2011 to 2012. So we're looking at the percent increase. So our answer is going to be a percentage. So let's see. The number of phones that we increased by between 2011 and 2012 was 2012 sales minus 2011 sales would be 53. So we increased 53 million phones in that 1 year. Okay, so that's our increase. So what we have to do is we have to find out what percentage 53 is, because that's our increase, what our percentage of 53 is compared to 72. So 53 is what percent of 72. So we started out with 72, we increased by 53, and we need to find out what that percentage of increase was. So 53 is what percent of 72. So we're going to divide by 72. Those go away. 53 divided by 72 is 0.736, and we need to change that to a percent because they're asking for the percent increase. So it's 73.6% increase in phone sales between 2011 and 2012. So again, it's using logic here in order to figure out what they want and what information they gave you that's necessary in order to solve this. So they didn't give you this 53. You had to discover that on your own by finding out the increase from 2011 to 2012 and then adding that increase or taking that increase and finding out what the percentage was compared to the previous number. So one of the things that this brings to mind is when you're doing these story problems, you're always looking at the current amount or the lower amount and comparing it to the higher amount, or the current amount to the lower amount if you're going backwards. But anyway, there's always a number that you're going to start with. And in this case, it was the 72 because we wanted to see the increase the next year. If we wanted to find a decrease, well, if this number were like a number less than 72, then this would have been a decrease from 72 to here, and we would have been able to find the percentage the same way. The difference between this number and this number, if this one was lower, and then this answer would be the decrease in sales rather than the increase. So anyway, we'll keep working on some of these examples here. So let's look at example 4. In example 4, we have a decrease. Shoes usually sell for $25. They're on sale for $21, so the price went down. What is the percent decrease? Well, before we find the percent decrease, we have to find out what the decrease was. The decrease was $4. The price went down $4. So what we're going to do is we're going to say $4 is what percent of what? The 25, the amount we started with. So $4 is what percent of 25? 4 is what percent of 25? Divide by 25, divide by 25. Those go away. 4 divided by 25 is 0.16. And what do they want? They want percent. So we're going to change that to a percent and have our answers there. So $21, let's just look at what some of this means. $25 is the original price. $21 is the discounted price or the sale price. $4 is the discount. That's how much money they took off. And the percentage here is called the rate of discount. Whenever you're dealing with rate, you're dealing with percentages here. So that's the rate of discount. So let's go ahead and look at example 5. We've got a suit that usually sells for $300 and it's marked 25% off, which means it's being discounted, which means the price is being decreased. So our answer is going to be less than $300. They want to know what is the discount. So remember what I just said a minute ago, the discount is the money that you're getting off the original or the regular price. So in order to do that, if it's 25% off and we want to find out how much money off it is, we take 25% of 300 is the discount, the money that we're saving here. So 0.25 times 300 is going to be $75. So that's how much we got off of the suit. 25% of $300 is $75 off. The next question is, what is the sale price? Well, if the original price was $300 and we got $75 off, we're just going to subtract that and get $225 for the suit. So that ends up being the sale price. So be conscientious of the terms that they use, the words, the original price, the sale price, the discount, and the rate of discount, as well as the sale price of the suit and that kind of thing. So keep track of that so that you're giving me the right information in your answers. So the last example is example 6, and this is going to be a little bit more complicated than what we've been doing. So a guy buys a washing machine. It's on sale. It normally sells for $450. It's on sale for 12% off, so he's getting a discount, a decrease of 12%. The sales tax is 5%. Sales tax, that's always money that you have to pay, so that's another increase. How much is the total bill for the washer? All right, so let's look at this one piece at a time. We have a $450 washer. It's on sale for 12% off, which means he's getting it for less money. Then, after he finds out how much money he gets it for, he's going to add 5% sales tax to that, which is going to increase the price more. So the 5% is being added to the amount that he's actually getting the washer for at sale price. It's not 5% of this. It's not this plus this is 17% of that. You have to do each one step at a time. So he's getting it, first of all, let's look at this. He's getting the washer for 12% off. So we want to know how much money he's getting off, is 12% of $450. So, X is 0.12 of $450. This is telling us how much money he's getting off. This is his cash discount. So he's getting the washer for $54 off the $450 right there, which means he's getting the washer for $396. That's $54 off the $450. Great. Takes the washer up to the cash register and they ring it up as $396, and now they're going to add 5% sales tax to that. So now I have to take $396 times 5% to find out the tax amount. So $396 times the 5% is going to be $19.80. So that's how much he's going to have to pay in sales tax. $396 is how much he's paying for the washer. So if we add both of those numbers up, the amount he pays for the washer and the sales tax, we get $415.80 he ends up putting on his Visa card. So that is example 6.